or not the Republican Party or the Democrat Party is really voicing the concerns of U.S. citizens. We've all heard about the Tea Party, and at this point, every single news item has some soundbite about the Tea Party and discussing the conservative values of the members of the Tea Party. But have you heard of the Coffee Party? The Coffee Party is a new organization that is generating some buzz because its whole purpose was to contradict the premise of the Tea Party. The Tea Party, as we know, has more of a conservative base, whereas the Coffee Party has more of a liberal base. But the funny thing is, both parties are discussing the same emblematic problems of our current political system, that Washington isn't listening to the public, that media is distorting the news, and that we don't know what's going on, and that we don't have control over the decisions that government is making. And those are the basic points that both parties are making. However, one's coming from a conservative base, one's coming from a liberal base. And I'm intrigued by the idea of this Coffee Party, and that president doesn't have nearly the same membership as the Tea Party, but the Tea Party has got about a year ahead of the Coffee Party, and Sarah Palin headlined their national convention. So the Coffee Party's still off to a grassroots start right now.
Well, I drink both coffee and tea, but I have to say I like the premise. I like the grassroots premise of both. I don't agree with everything that both is saying, both Tea Party and Coffee Party folks say, but I do like the grassroots premise of this because it's sparking a movement. It's sparking debate. Whereas if you turn on CNN or C-SPAN and you listen to politicians address a problem, all I hear these days are talking points.
Right.
Talking points and pre-scripted questions or issues that are being addressed as opposed to real substantive discussion. So to the extent that this is provoking that discussion, I like it.
No, I have to agree. I mean, we're here talking about it right now. And I think the more discussion that the public has, the more information that the public has, that we all talk about and we try and determine what the problems are and what the solutions can be, the better it is for everyone collectively.
Well, Sonal, speaking of parties, you shared a story with me earlier today that you found in Newsweek about the rise of Tupperware parties again, and Avon parties and Mary Kay parties, and our house is full of this stuff. No, just kidding, it's not, but in the down economy, many people have gone back to these selling out of your home models, and Tupperware sales have actually been on the rise, on the increase, and the story cites instances of various people who are out of work who have become wildly successful in throwing these Tupperware parties. And one in particular kind of gave me the chuckles about an individual who has this whole get-up that he does. He dresses in drag, and he throws Tupperware parties 20 times a month, and he's to a point where he makes $1,200 to $1,500 per party. He takes home $8,500 a month in salary. Tupperware pays his car payment. They give him extra perks and incentives, and he has all the freedom in the world that he wants. So, it's kind of a neat thing that you've seen out of the down economy. You've seen these a rise in these at-home sales parties.
No, I think it's wonderful. When I was growing up, all of my aunties were stay-at-home moms. Everyone was a stay-at-home mom at that time, and to earn a little extra cash, they would have Avon parties or Tupperware parties. And it was just at that time to have a little more pocket cash. But, over the past 30 years or so, it seems to have progressed to something that someone can do this full-time and generate a household income. What was really interesting about the article was a couple of years ago, the people that were doing the Avon and the Tupperware were the wives of men who were working, and they were stay-at-home moms, just like when I was growing up. But then their husbands were contractors, or they were in the construction industry, some of the industries that have been hard hit by our failing economy. And as they were doing the Tupperware parties and everything on the side, their income started to increase, whereas their husband's income started to decrease. And now all of a sudden, these women who were just doing something on the side, they're the breadwinners of the family. And the fact that they can do that with as much flexibility as is provided by these industries, it's wonderful.
There was an interesting article article in Time about how the economy has created a series of dropouts.
Right.
And there's also failure, how failure is important to, I guess, re-energizing the economy, because more people want to start businesses in the United States than anywhere else in the world. A large percentage of these businesses fail, but out of those failures, a lot of great new ideas are born, and a lot of great businesses are born that generate new jobs for everyone. So I think we're going through a cycle. It's funny how it all comes back to these things that we remember seeing as a kid.
No, I agree. I mean, you know, we in America pride ourselves on our innovation. Innovation is our driving force, and when we're down in the dumps, when we're desperate, that innovation's starting to spur. People are looking for ways to get a foothold on their finances, on the economy, on their needs. And I think you're right. By experiencing some failure, that's just going to push a little more innovation. And, you know, I mean, that's the whole premise of that EB6 visa as well, is the floundering economy and getting new innovation on our shores. So, I mean, it is all tied together, and it is cyclical. And, you know, you're absolutely right.
It all comes back to immigration.
It always comes back to immigration.
I tried to steer us away from that, but she naturally brings it back to immigration. Well, Sonal, whenever we're on the show together, we inevitably talk about the same things. We talk about the environment or organic food, or about how China is slowly killing us. Well, I came across a story which I think our viewers will be of particular interest to our viewers, and it's about Indian spices and the spices that many of us have in our home. And this actually originated out of a study that was done in Boston, where they discovered that large numbers of children from Asian households had elevated levels of lead in their blood. And they were trying to determine how or why, because most of the conventional ways that